Hello. So we start studying the producer consumer problem. Last lecture we have studied the theoretical concepts of the producer consumer problem. Here we will study the practical implementation of the producer consumer problem in C programming language using Semaphore and the Mutex. Okay, so let us start or revise the pseudocode for the producer consumer. So as you see, the producer is producing a data here, and when producer is producing a data, at that time no other producer or consumer should be allowed to enter into the critical section. So that's why we are putting a wait mutex here. So it will block all the producers and consumers whoever trying to access this critical section. And the next condition for producer and consumer is producer can't produce if buffer is full. Okay, so that's why here we have written wait on empty. So if empty value is 0, that means all the slots are occupied, then producer can't produce. And whenever the producer is exiting from here, so he is allowing others to enter into the critical section, as well as the producer is incrementing the full count by 1. Similarly, in consumer, the consumer can't consume if buffer is empty. So he will check for the full slots. If full slots are equals to 0, that means there is no data in the buffer. So in that case, the consumer will block. And if there is a data in the buffer, the consumer will enter here and will try to acquire the critical section, and then will consume the data, and while exiting he will increase the value of empty variable. Okay, so this we have to implement using the C programming language. So let us start with the C programming. So here we are taking two variables, number of producers and number of consumers. So these are for number of producers and consumers. NP for number of producers, NC for number of consumers, and these are thread variables. So we will create threads depending on how much number of producers and how much number of consumers that user wants to create. These are the index variables. Then we are asking the user to enter number of producers and number of consumers. Okay, after reading these values, then we have to initialize the semaphore variables. Okay, so the semaphore variables we will declare here. So declaring of the semaphore variable is with the data type as same_t, and name of the variables are empty and full. As well as we have to declare one mutex variable. So type for declaring mutex variable is thread_mutex_t, and name of the variable, let us name this as mutex. Okay, so these three synchronization kind of the variables that we have declared, pthread same_t, same_t, empty and full, pthread_mutex_t is mutex. Okay, now next task is to initialize these variables. So first we will initialize semaphore variables here, and arguments are, first argument is variable name, second argument is for whether the semaphore variable is shared or not. So if it is shared, then it will have the integer value here, and 0 means not shared. 0 means not shared. And third parameter is the initial value. So we are creating a buffer of size 5. So let us declare that variable also, buffer of size 5. So int buffer of size 5. So empty value will be 5 because all the slots are empty, and full value will be a 0 because all the slots are all the slots are empty. That's why the full value will be a 0. Then we have to initialize the mutex variable also. So initialization of mutex variable is pthread_mutex_init. So this is the name of the function, and its arguments are address of mutex variable and attributes. So address of mutex variable is address of mutex comma null. Okay, so these variables we have declared. Then this is the declaration of the mutex. So mutex is only a locking and unlocking mechanism, like your binary semaphore. Okay, so that's why we are using a mutex for locking, unlocking, and for synchronization we are using the semaphores. The next task is to create the threads for the producer. We have asked the user to enter number of producers, number of consumers. So for number of producers, we are creating these producer threads, which will be calling to producer routine, and number of consumers, which will be calling to consumer routines. Okay, so producers will call the producer function, consumers will call the consumer functions. Then join the threads using pthread underscore join. Producer threads are joined by using, okay, let me write a comment. So here we are create producer threads. Then here we are create consumer threads. Okay, create producer threads and consumer threads. Then next task is to join these threads. So first we will join producer threads. First create all the threads and then start joining. Otherwise it will not work. / join consumer threads. What I have told you, first create all the threads. That means create the producer threads and consumer threads also, and then try to join these threads. Okay, so this will join the producer threads and the consumer threads. Okay, now this producer will call the producer function, consumer will call the consumer function. Now let us try to write these functions. Function definition is void star. Okay, so always function definition is a void star. So these are the address of thread variable, default attributes, name of the function, and argument. This we have studied in the thread library. Okay, so write this as void producer and void star arg. Okay, so this is what we write in every thread function. Okay, so this producer error is now removed. Similarly, we'll write the consumer function. Okay, now first task in the thread function is we declare one long int variable, say num, and we assign a value by typecasting into long int, which variable? Arg variable. Okay, so that we will get this void star value into an integer format. Okay, now here we will write a code for the producer. So here let us understand, producer is producing data. Okay, so producer is producing a data, means what he is doing, he is creating some random data. So let us write this as, or assign this into some variable buffer of, okay, so here we will have to use one index. Let us name this index as count and declare this count here, int count equals to 0. Okay, so buffer of count equals to assign some random values here. So function to assign the random value is rand, and okay, and if you want to create the random values between 1 to 10 or 10 to 20, then you should take a mod of that particular. So we will create the random values between 1 to 10. Okay, so this will assign the random value here. So rand buffer count num10, and here we will print a message for the user, printf. Let us say what message, so that we will come to know what is the output. So for output we have to print some values, and what value we will print here? Producer %d. Let this write as producer %d produced, DUC produced %d. Okay, now what you will write in place of the first %d? So first % is a number of the producer. So it is num plus 1. We will not print, we will start from 1, not from 0. So that's why I have written it as a num plus 1, comma. And next value is what producer have produced. So producer have produced buffer of count. Am I right? Okay. Okay, after producing one data, the count value should be incremented, because next time the producer will write into the next empty slot. Okay, so that's why we have to increment the count. Okay, so this is what a producer function is. Producer is producing data. Okay, now let us assume that it will require some time, so provide a slip here so that we will understand how exactly they are working. Okay, slip of 1. Okay, so this is for a producer. Now, but there are conditions for the producer. What are the conditions? That whenever the buffer is full, producer is not allowed to produce. So that's why he is putting a wait on empty. And whenever producer is in the critical section, no other producer and consumer should be allowed to enter into the critical section. These are the two conditions that we have to write. Okay, so what is the first condition? That producer should not produce when buffer is full. So he should wait on empty. And whenever the producer will finish its task, at that time he will post on. Whenever producer will produce a data, he will increment a value of full. So here address of a full variable, address of empty, address of full. Okay, so here what will happen? Let me write so that you will understand. PROD, producer is trying to produce data. Trying to produce means he is checking the empty. So if it is 0, then he will be blocked here. If value of empty is greater than 0, then he will be allowed. So here we will print a message as, we are not printing a message, we are just giving the comments so that you will understand. Producer is allowed. If he is entering below same weight, that means he is allowed to produce data. Okay, so producer is allowed to produce data, and producer is waiting for his turn, because next statement is a pthread underscore mutex underscore lock and address of mutex variable here. So whenever the producer will enter, he will log the critical section, and whenever he will leave the critical section, pthread underscore mutex underscore unlock. He will unlock the critical section on the same variable, mutex variable. Okay, so this is the locking unlocking mechanism implemented with the mutex variable. So here we will write producer have released lock on critical section. Producer have released the lock on the critical section, and here producer is incrementing full value, which is initially 0. So producer is incrementing the full value here. Okay, so this is what a producer routine is. Let me check. We have first put a lock on empty variable, or we are checking the value of empty variable. If it is greater than 0, producer will enter here and will try to lock the critical section. Okay, and when he is allowed to enter into the critical section, producer will produce the data. Will produce the data means we'll write some data into the buffer. So we are writing some random number with the help of the function rand function, and then we are printing so that we will get the some output. So we are printing the output as /n producer %d produced %d, and num plus 1 means producer number, and buffer count means data that producer have produced. Then we are incrementing the count variable, putting a sleep of 1. Sleep of 1 is not required, but you should put so that you will get the output in some time gap manner. Then producer is leaving the log, and then producer is incrementing the full value. Okay, now this same function we have to write it for the consumer with little variation. What is the variation? So name of the function will change. Argument is same. Now producer consumer here we will change this message. Consumer is trying to consume data. Whenever he will enter into the function, he is trying to consume the data, and he will try to wait on full now, because consumer can't consume if buffer is empty. So if buffer is empty means full is 0, and if full is 0, that means he will be blocked here. And if full is greater than 0, that means there is some data in the buffer and he should be allowed to enter. Then here we will write consumer is allowed to consume data. And here consumer is waiting for his turn. Then consumer is consuming data. Producer and consumer will put a lock on the same variable so that no other producer or consumer will be allowed to enter into the critical section. Okay, now consumer is consuming the data, that means he is not doing anything, he is just decrementing this count minus minus. And here consumer consumed. What consumer have consumed? Num plus 1 and buffer count. Okay, so buffer count. So he has consumed this data. Okay, so its count minus minus correct here. The count plus plus will not be required. What we have done in the producer? In producer we have written the data and increased the count. So count is pointing to the next empty location. So that's why we are decrementing the count and then printing the consumed value, so that it will be the previous value that producer have written. Okay, so this is the routine for the consumer. Okay, so let us change this messages. Consumer release the critical section, and consumer is incrementing empty value. Whenever a data will get consumed, empty slot will increase. So here it should be empty. Okay, so this is for consumer. Okay, now our code is almost, we have written the program. Now let us test whether this program is working properly or not using a terminal. Okay, so as this is a thread program, you should compile this program. This is cpc1 ./a.out, number of producers say 5, number of consumers say 5, and this is the output you are getting. So I had just removed the sleep from there. So let us try to put a sleep again and see whether it is working or not. Sleep of 1, and in consumer put a sleep here, and let us try to run this again. So it is giving a warning. We will just neglect this warning and try to execute 5. So producer 1 have produced number has 3, 2 have produced 6, 3 have produced 7, 4 have produced 5, 5 have produced 3. Now here buffer is full, so no other producer can produce. Then consumer consumed 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now this we have tested for the even same number of producers and same number of consumers. Now let us try this for the different numbers, 7 producers and 5 consumers. Let us see what happens. So producer 1, 2, 3, 4 have produced, then consumer have consumed, then again producer, consumer, producer, consumer. Okay, so this program executed without having any deadlock. So 7 producers. So these are 4, 5, 6 and 7. Producer have produced the data, and 2 and 4 and 1, 5 consumers have consumed the data. So it is working without having the deadline. Now what will happen if we make distance between the number of producers? Let us say take 10 and consumers as 2. Then what will happen? There are only 2 consumers. So let us test. The producer is producing data. Producer 4, producer 3, producer 5, producer 6, 8. Then 2 data are consumed by the consumer. Okay, now here buffer is full and there is no consumer to consume the data. And then what will happen? The producer will wait for the consumer to consume the data, but as all the consumers have finished, so there is no any consumer who will consume the data, and the system will go in the deadlock, because the producer will be forever waiting for some consumer will come and we will consume the data, but there is no such a consumer in the our program who will come and consume the data. So that's why this is called as the deadlock in the producer consumer problem. Okay, so this program, let us revise what we have done. So here producer, while producing the data, he is putting wait on empty function, then he is locking this variable using a mutex lock to enter into the critical section. Then he will enter into the critical section, will create a data, and how we have created a data? By using the random function between 1 to 10, so mod 10. And then we are printing the message for the producer, and we are incrementing the count variable, putting a sleep, and then releasing the lock and incrementing the full slot by 1. Similarly, consumer is decrementing the full by 1, and then he is acquiring the lock of the mutex. If lock is allowed or given access of the lock, then consumer will consume the data. That means he will remove the data from the buffer. We are decrementing the count here and printing what consumer have consumed the data. And then we are incrementing the value of empty variable, and then finally exit function. Okay, so in this way the producer and consumer functions will execute without having any problem by synchronizing with